All right, we are live. Welcome everybody to Average Joe Watch Reviews YouTube channel, and we've got the usual four. We've got Rock the Watch, JC the Reviews, and Watch Chris. And we're getting a little bit of feedback.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Now, I was going to introduce everybody, and I completely forgot. I was going to start out with just me and introduce you guys one by one, but I guess it's
next time.
So let's see who we got in here. We got a buddy of mine here. I'm not going to say his name, but Josh, you want to help me out with that one?
Cripperino. We'll just say his last name. That's okay.
All right. All right, here he is. What's up, buddy?
That's the best name.
He's awesome.
All right. So how's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good.
Pretty good. Not
Yeah.
bad.
Looks like we got 7 people in the chat. So anybody want to start off with something before we dive into the topic? Want to get something off your chest?
Not me.
Not much, man. It's been a busy week, but a lot of watches coming out this week.
Well, you know what? You want to talk about what's coming out?
Yeah, there's been a few watches that came out. The new, I did a video about the new Zodiac GMT, and then there was a new. So that Zodiac GMT is not a limited edition. A new two-tone, and then they came out with a stainless steel version, and now they're using the Soprod C125, which is a pretty cool movement in my opinion, but I think it's kind of controversial because of all the reasons that we were talking about. I think it was last week when we were talking about Tag Heuer, and they borrowed or used Seiko a template to create or plans to build the movement. That's what the Soprod is. The Soprod is a Seiko movement. I think it's the 4L. But it's a good movement. It's a really well-made movement. It's a Swiss-made movement. So now Zodiac are using it. And then Baltic came out with a GMT as well. 3 colors, green, gray,
Nice looking.
blue. And they're very good looking. 39 millimeters. And they're using the exact same movement. So that Soprod movement, the GMT, it has an independent GMT hand. Really nice. And I think that one's $1,200. The Zodiac is $1,795. So, pretty cool watches coming out.
Who makes who is Zodiac partnered with? Like, are they underneath
Fossil Group?
Fossil? That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
So was it today or yesterday? Zelos, was it the Sky Raider or the Sky?
Yeah. Zelos came out with the Sky
Was
Raider.
that today?
That was yesterday.
Yesterday. Okay.
Yesterday.
I knew it was.
I like that Sky Raider. I really think it's a good looking watch, but they had to put a bracelet on it. I don't know why. I guess because everybody wanted a bracelet. That bracelet ruined it. It just looks terrible. It has these giant male end links. It just looks big and chunky. It did not look good. I did not like it on the bracelet.
Isn't it a big watch anyway?
Yeah, it's like 44 millimeters.
Yeah.
But
That's
it
a little
It has
big.
a Unitas, a hand winding movement in it, so it's a big movement. So
When it comes to watches, what is your absolute biggest watch you guys will wear, millimeter wise?
For me, I have a Casio Pro Trek. It's probably my biggest. I forget exactly, somewhere 46, 48, but the lug to lug is short that it doesn't really hang over my
It tapers
my
right down,
wrist.
right?
Yeah, so that's probably the biggest I can go.
And what size is your wrist again?
6.5.
6.5.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's big for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I try to not go over 44, but a lot of
Yeah.
times you'll be shocked. It depends on the case of the shape of the case. They
Right.
wear, sometimes they'll be 44 and they wear smaller. They look like they wear smaller than like a 42.
Oh, how big's your wrist, Matt?
7.5.
So you have a 7.5. You'll wear a
Yeah.
44 max. And what about you, Chris?
I'm 7.5.
Yep.
7.5. And what's the biggest watch you like to rock?
So my biggest watch is a 46 millimeter right now. I don't think that I could wear anything over a 46 millimeter and feel comfortable. I'm wearing a 45.5 millimeter watch right now, and it's been it looks big on my wrist, but I enjoy the watch. So there's certain watches that I'll wear. I'll just wear it because I enjoy it. But other than that, I try and not go that big. I have Panerais that are in the 44 millimeter range, but then they have that crown guard and
crown guard
bigger. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a 7-inch wrist, and the biggest watch I like wearing is a 43. It's my Breitling Headwind, which I think is actually a good segue into wrist checks. I'm actually Schwarzkopfing today.
All right.
So I have the Hamilton Field watch with the cream dial on the new Milano strap. Thanks to Watch Chris for hooking me up with that company.
Nice.
Big shout out to you. And then I'm wearing a 1967 Hamilton.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's 10 years older than I am. Automatic. It's got a cream dial, but I think originally it didn't have it. So I think the age made it cream. So it kind of matches my 2-year-old, 3-year-old Hamilton. So
nice.
How about you guys?
Is that a micro rotor, the Hamilton?
I'm actually going to do a review on it, but it has a solid case back. So I just received it tonight. I went out to dinner with some good friends, and he lent me this watch to review.
Is it automatic or is it hand?
It is an automatic. You can hear the. Here, I should probably do it here. Here we go.
Oh yeah.
As opposed to the new.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can hear that, but
you should definitely crack open the case back because there's probably a micro rotor in there. Well, look it up first. It might be a micro rotor because that Hamilton made a bunch of micro rotor movements back then.
Yeah, I might be able to do that while you guys are doing your wrist check. How about you? How about you, Matt? What do you got?
Tissot C-Star 1000.
Nice.
That is a nice watch. That's one that I have my eye on for a long time now.
This is a great watch, and I think this one's about 43. And it wears great. It's awesome, especially you can pick them up for under $500. Brand new. They're great watches.
Powermatic 80.
The Powermatic 80.
Powermatic 80. That is one of my favorite movements.
Nice.
All right. How about you, Josh?
I got a Casio Edifice Amazon special, $40.
Those are awesome.
Those are.
It's quartz. Nice little
great.
design to it. But yeah.
They're good looking watches. Really good looking watches for $40.
Yeah, and that was a special deal. So they're usually like 70, 80. But I jumped on it.
Prime Day, right?
Yeah.
I saw you. Yeah, I remember.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
What about you, Chris? What do you got on today?
So once you said that you were Schwarzkopfing it, I decided to throw in another watch immediately, because I can feel a little bit more comfortable.
Nice. Now you get two for one deal.
I would do that on a regular basis, but my wife would get very mad at me, so I don't do it. Today I am wearing the Accutron DNA.
Oh man!
As you can see there,
the green one. Oh yeah, that's
moving.
awesome.
Is it moving? No, I'll make it move so you guys can see. I'll take it off my wrist though. Just a cool watch. I've been wearing this since it came. I will not take it off my wrist. I'm definitely getting one. I've already made the
commitment
to buy. So that is that. And then I am wearing, as you guys know about this watch, so you'll be getting one of these for the channel to review as well. Mm-hmm. The Sacred Craft. This is nice. A really cool watch that is made out of recycled bronze material from boats that are no longer in use. And you can see it has a really cool bronze rotor on it. And that's a
very highly decorated.
Yeah, an ETA movement. It's signed. Really cool case sides. Just a cool watch. Cool. And this one is made out of all bronze. So they make all different cases. So it's pretty cool.
Looking forward to seeing that one, man.
Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm. How big is that Accutron? 44?
45.5.
45.
Plus the rubber strap actually bows out too.
Yeah.
See.
Yeah.
You can't get that.
Oh man, I couldn't do that.
I don't know what. I don't even know what this would be, but you have to have.
No.
It look even on my wrist, and I have a 7.5-inch wrist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you have a 6-inch or 6.5-inch wrist, it's going to look like you're wearing one of those those watches that kids wear that are
they're giant.
like the thing, it's just like a little kid wearing a watch. Like it's just gonna be like a loop around your wrist. It's just gonna be the thing on your wrist. It's gonna look crazy. But like I said, I was saying, I don't think it looks that great on my wrist. When I'm wearing it, I don't think it looks that great on my wrist. And I'm gonna do like a full review on it. I just like a first impression sort of review on this watch. But it's a watch that I forgive because every time it's the most interesting watch that I've worn in a while, because normally I'll be sitting around and I'll take a watch off and I'll look at the back and I'll be like, oh, that automatic movement is awesome, or it's a hand wound movement or whatever it is. I'll look at it, I'll watch the gear, or I'll wind it or whatever. This, you don't have to do that. It's just on your wrist. It's there. Everything that's happening, the motors are moving. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So that watch uses static electricity, which is a exclusive to Accutron. And I actually learned something on your channel, which, I hate to sound surprised, but you said that Accutron is now owned by Citizen. It's no longer part of Bulova anymore, even though the Citizen Group is right. Exactly.
So what they did was Bulova and Accutron were bought by Citizen, and Citizen decided to split them up, because if you bought like a Space View in the 1960s, it would say on the back Bulova Accutron, because Bulova was wholly owned by Accutron was wholly owned by Bulova,
right?
And they've decided to actually split them completely up. So
I wasn't aware. It's like
Accutron up market. Sorry.
Accutron, I thought was a line of Bulova watches.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
You're saying it's a separate brand?
Now it's a completely separate brand. The Citizen have just essentially made them a completely separate brand from.
Interesting. Yeah.
Well, let's jump into the topic of tonight, and something that doesn't get talked about a lot, but I wanted to discuss it, and that is women and watches. So I just wanted to kind of have a roundtable discussion in regards to, we know that women like watches. There's no doubt about that. But we don't see a lot of women YouTube channels. It's hard for me to find a decent women's diver for my fiance that is of women's size. What's going on, guys? Like, what is your take on the whole women and watches subject? Anyone want to dive in?
I'm scared. I don't want to.
So I know we were discussing earlier, like before we went on air, we were talking about, a couple of YouTube channels. Jenny Ellie, right?
Yeah.
She's got pretty good subscriber base.
Oh yeah.
And actually Eve is on our chat right now, and she's got her own YouTube channel, which I'm a fan of. Definitely check her out. It's Elias Steve Dan. And as you were saying earlier, Chris, even the women channels they're reviewing men's watches, and women are wearing men's watches, men's sizes. Do you think that the women's size is kind of, I don't know, becoming extinct, and maybe we're just kind of moving into a more gender neutral, like for instance, I have a watch here. This is my fiance's Tissot. It's a 40 millimeter watch. I mean, it's a perfectly acceptable size in this day and age for a men's watch. So is that really the direction we're going in? And anyone in the comments can definitely, I know I just saw Eve definitely comment in the chat and just let us know what you think as well. We may not spend too much time on this because I feel like you guys don't want to speak up.
Oh yeah, so I'll jump in.
All right, go for it.
I feel that like you said, and like we were talking about before, there are women's YouTube channels. There are women's Instagrams. There's Spanish Rob. You guys know who Spanish Rob is?
I've heard of him.
He has like 60,000 followers. His girlfriend also does Instagram, but all she does is use his watches in her Instagram. It's all men's watches. So I follow her too because I want to see more of his watches. Anyway, but like if you're a YouTuber and you're a girl, it seems like, I mean, they have plenty of other, things they can do on YouTube as well, fashion and everything. But if you're talking watches, for some reason, women on YouTube are reviewing men's watches, and that's it.
Right.
And I think the reason why is, and if you look at I know I look at the statistics on my channel once in a while. I haven't looked at them in a while, but the statistics on my channel are 99%.
99 to 1.
Yep.
Are men.
Yes.
Right.
So
That's where the market is.
Yeah, exactly. So I've never found myself going online and looking for a women's watch. Even if I'm going to buy a women's watch for my wife, I still don't go online and look for a women's watch. I don't look for reviews. I pretty much will just go to a store, or I will ask her what she wants, and then we'll go down that route. But I'm not going to look for a review on it, because it's just not something that I'm unfortunately I'm not that interested in it. So, and I think that's why there's 99% of men, and 99% of my viewers are men. So if I did a review on a women's watch, which I am going to do, but I don't think anybody's going to watch it.
Good point.
Honestly. Yeah.
Do you know the size of your wife's wrist by any chance?
I do not know.
Yeah, me neither. But I think a 40. So this 40 millimeter looks good in her wrist, and I know she's 5'2".
Well, Kelly, my wife's in the chat. What's your wrist size? If she answers, I don't know. But she wears men's watches. She wears a 42 millimeter watch. She wears larger watches. She had I think a 47 millimeter watch for a while too, that she wore for a while.
Okay.
So she wears larger watches. She does, and I think a lot of women like to wear men's watches. It's kind of like the thing right now.
So I was showing you guys before the chat. I had such a hard time finding a diver's watch that I actually got kind of an imposter diver, because this Victorinox, which is a great brand, by the way, it's got the diver look, but the bezel doesn't rotate. So I need a suggestion on a legit diver, because I want my fiance wearing a diver like me, so that we could be cool, I mean, we could be the cool couple. We can, twist our bezels together and get it on everybody's nerves. So I just wanted to see if anybody had maybe any suggestions on a true woman's diver, maybe 36, 38 millimeters. And I know you were saying even earlier, Chris, like get like a like a Seiko 38 millimeter or something, like, again, a men's watch, but in that millimeter.
Yeah. What's the price range? What are you looking to spend? Is she on the chat, or are you going to get?
She's not on the chat, but she's definitely hiding, seeing what I'm going to say. So, so that is yet to be determined. But I've been trying to get her to wear this guy, the Matthew and Sons.
Yeah,
it's a 42, but the case is 42, but the bezel itself is probably like a 40, because of the way the case is.
It's a thick watch.
It's a thick one, though, right?
It is a thick one. So, all right, fine. So everybody's right but me. Okay. All right, that's fine. Well, so I think maybe here she is. She's here. Here she is. And this is your wife, right, Chris?
Kelly, yeah.
Okay.
Kelly, yes.
All right.
Yeah. I think that there are plenty of 38 millimeter dive watches out there that are automatic, that aren't too thick. One that comes to mind actually is 36 millimeters, is EZA. Have you ever heard of them? They're pretty cool. Really cool watches. They made a 36 millimeter, which is like a reissue of their original dive watch. It was an old company that was defunct, and they came back out.
Right.
There's plenty of them out there. It's just that I think I don't know who said it in the chat. I just read it before. It might have been I don't remember who actually said it, but a lot of women wear different size watches because it's sort of like a fashion thing. So they'll wear a lot of women wear very, very small watches, but a lot of women will wear, like, I've seen women wear Rolexes. I've seen women wear Daytonas. I've seen them wear Panerais and other watches, big watches, 40 millimeter watches and up. because it's more of a fashion statement. They're wearing a really nice men's watch, but they're a woman, and they're pairing it with whatever they're wearing, and it looks good,
Mm-hmm.
So. Ken Spear in the comments, he made a good suggestion. That Islander, that 38
Yeah, I like
millimeter
that.
Islander, and they're coming in some cool colors too. He's releasing a lot of cool colors. Also, somebody suggested Longines Hydro Conquest. They make a lady side. That's good. That's perfect.
My good buddy Adrian. Let's wish him well. By the way, he's actually not feeling too well. So if we can maybe say a prayer for him. We don't have to do it on the chat here, but afterwards.
Let's pray.
Josh, you can. Josh is a preacher on the side, so he totally could. So
we'll pray for you later, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's definitely a good guy. Check out his channel. Let me put him up here one more time to give him some love. Here he is, right here. Oh yeah, he's still up there.
Yeah, I was going to mention that too. He's thinking because I was drawing blanks, but the chat's coming through for us tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining us tonight. Definitely appreciate all 15 of you in the chat. Thank you so much. Definitely, as you can see, the ticker down below. Definitely join in on the conversation. We're definitely getting some good suggestions here so that I can get my fiance a good Christmas present. So we have a Christopher Ward Trident, 38 millimeter. I like the way Bob thinks because don't tell my fiance, but I love Christopher Ward and I would totally rock that myself. So thank you. Thank you so much.
It's a good idea.
I was thinking, Joe, about why women, the question why doesn't seem like women, are into watches as much, and they gravitate towards, men's watches. I was thinking, the point about jewelry, women have all kinds of jewelry, earrings, bracelets, necklaces, and whatnot. And it's almost like they focus more on those things a lot of times, a lot of women, and like a watch is kind of like an afterthought. When they think of a watch, they think of it as another piece of jewelry, and sometimes I think the other jewelry, rings or whatever, are more important to women than watches, especially in the day and age we live in with technology. And, most women that I see around don't wear a watch, but a lot of them have fitness trackers, or something like that. So just some thoughts.
Or the Apple Watch.
Yeah, Eve down below said, "Don't forget the bags." And trust me, I know about the bags. My fiance's got a nice Louis Vuitton collection, and I remember the time I said to her, "How much did you pay for that Louis Vuitton?" And she's like, "Well, how much did you pay for your Breitling?" And I never questioned her again. So, yeah, good point. Good point, Eve.
Yeah, women have a lot of they get to accessorize. We don't. Like
This is my only piece of jewelry right here.
I wear a watch. That's it.
Yep.
Of course, I have a lot of watches, and it's become more of an obsession. But women they get to wear like jewelry, all different types of jewelry, earrings, all this different stuff, and and I'm saying they get to wear it. It's not like I want to wear it. I'm just saying it's there. It's there. It's great for them, and men don't have that. They really most men only wear one item of jewelry, and that is a watch. So for me, I really do pay attention to the watch I'm wearing every day, and I make it something different, and I try and enjoy it.
I guess men are more single-minded, right? Women more scattered, right? No, we won't get into that, right?
Well, if you like Chris said, if you break it down just on YouTube on channels, I mean, let's face it, men like cars. I mean, we're attracted to cars. We're attracted to blowing stuff up. We're attracted to watches and guns and war stuff and all that stuff that men dig. And we focus on those channels. And then the women got space. That's a good one. That's perfect. And the women got their stuff, the fashion, like you said, the bags, the makeup, the shoes. All that stuff.
But there are women who are into space and guns and watches and all that.
But it's not. Like you said, it's 99% dudes.
Yeah, but they're going to go when they want that content. They're going to come to us.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
absolutely.
Yeah,
that's it. So if I were into makeup, fashion, and bags and all that, I would follow some women and watch their channels.
Yep.
You know, that's just the way it is.
Yeah, you got a point there.
And I could be. You guys don't know. You don't see what I know.
That's another show.
That's a whole other show there.
That's another discussion.
So I think the era of women's watches that are, I don't even know if you guys can even see this, but I mean, this is tiny, tiny, tiny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
I
like
don't know, like
the watch you see at Macy's. You know, the
yeah, that's
the
the
typical ladies' watch that's like 29 millimeters, that type of thing. I think even women's watches are going bigger and bigger. And now, I mean, now men's watches are coming back in because they were going to like, 52 millimeters for ridiculous, size of watch. Now things are coming back down where a 40 millimeter watch is probably where the most average is, right?
Yeah. Seems like my fiance, the biggest that she would wear, as I said, she's 5'2", definitely a thinner wrist. She said 40 is the most she'll go. So this is a 40 millimeter. So what's the largest watch your wife will wear, Chris?
She said 45. That was it.
45. Is that what she said? Yeah, I think she said in the comments, right?
Yeah, she had a 40.
Panerai?
That was Panerai, yeah.
Josh, does your wife like watches?
She's had some in the past, but doesn't wear one every day anymore. Maybe for dressier occasions, she might throw one on and it might not be working. But she wears a Fitbit. So, yeah, sorry to say.
Yeah, it's definitely not a watch. And we were talking to Matt over here, who his wife owns an Apple Watch, and I said, well, that's basically an iPhone with a strap.
A strap. That's a little mini wrist computer.
Shrunken.
Yeah,
right.
But we did. But now she's got 4 or 5 watches, but they're all, I don't even know the names of them, but they're all fashion watches, and she rarely wears it. She mostly wears the Apple Watch, but we did just order. She got tired of that, so maybe she's getting into it because we did just order her she picked it out, Longines, a Grand Classique from Joma Shop. So that should be in. I think it's 38 millimeter. She went with that one, so that should be in a couple weeks. So
nice.
We'll see how that. But that was the one we were, of course. But that was the one we were looking at where she was looking at it, and I was trying to explain to her, hey, this is automatic, which means you're gonna have to wear it, or it'll go dead, and you're gonna whine. Oh, I don't want that. She's like, nope, I don't want that. Just give me one with the battery. So.
And she got it anyway, though.
What's that? She went with the quartz one.
Oh, she went with the quartz.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So I did a little bit of research today to see some of the more iconic women's watches out there. So I came up with 5. First one, Cartier Tank for women. I'm sure that's not a big surprise.
Yeah.
Again, that one could go into a unisex role, though.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tank. I mean,
the tank is big with men as well.
Yeah.
There's a couple different sizes, right? A big and small, medium, maybe too. Like 3 sizes, I think. Yeah.
Not 100% sure, but there's definitely a couple sizes.
At least 2 sizes, but maybe 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're very elegant watches for even for a man with a smaller wrist. I
like them.
Completely wearable. Yeah.
Yep.
Then we have the Rolex Datejust 36. Is number 2.
That makes sense.
Not a surprise there.
Nope.
Eve, I believe you have one. Comment below. Let me know if I'm correct on that. I think I saw that on your channel. And this is Eve, by the way, guys. So subscribe to her, please. She's got a great channel, and we want to get her to 1,000. So let's do that, please. Number 3, Patek Philippe Aquanaut. Chris is looking at me like I have 3 heads. Yeah.
Like what?
I swear. I mean, you got to believe it. It's on the internet.
Of course. There you go.
You know? So I guess we'll skip that one. Omega Constellation. Maybe more.
Gerald Genta design.
Actually, my fiance tried on a couple at the Omega shop, and they had diamonds all over and everything. And it was a nice watch, but I think the one was a quartz. I don't know if Constellation comes as a quartz. I might be wrong, but
definitely.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It was like a $7,000 quartz.
Whew.
Diamond.
And I'm like, okay, Movado, no thanks. Okay, Tag, no thank you.
Factory set diamonds and stuff.
Yeah, it was factory. Yeah, it wasn't aftermarket, and it was beautiful. I mean, don't get me wrong.
They put diamonds in them, and then they're quartz watches, and then if you own them, and then that watch that's $7,000 is going to resell for $1,500 because it's diamonds. It's not
Yeah.
Women's watches don't resell very well, so that's a problem.
Yeah.
Now is the Constellation the one that has like the Roman numerals on the bezel?
Sometimes they do.
Yeah.
It's a Gerald Genta design. You guys are familiar with Gerald Genta?
Yep.
I'm not.
I hear you say it all the time, and I'm not sure what you mean by that. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Gerald Genta it was a designer. He designed the Patek Philippe Nautilus and
The Royal Oak.
The Royal Oak.
Yep.
It was believed that he designed the IWC Ingenieur is another watch that he designed.
He liked those porthole watches.
Porthole watches, but he
Yeah.
also designed a bunch of other watches
He did,
too,
yeah.
like the Universal Geneve pole router. He did a bunch of watches, but pretty much two of the most iconic watches of all time, the Nautilus and the Royal Oak, both designed by him, and also the Constellation.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. So when you see who are in that group of watches, that's a pretty good.
It's good
amazing
company.
designer, but
Yeah.
not that popular of a watch. It's sort of the Ingenieur is a little bit more popular, I would say, than the Constellation. I don't know why,
Right.
but that's just the way it is.
Comment below from Eve. Benefit of women in watch hobby: the small vintage watches that guys don't want solely because it's small, it's cheaper, less competition for her.
The Rolexes are definitely cheaper. Have you ever seen,
Yeah.
pre-owned Rolexes in women? You can get them for $2,000.
Yeah.
34, 36 date just and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, good point. All right. And then the last one was the Audemars Piguet. I know I'm saying that wrong, and I'll probably get blasted, but I'm just an average Joe, so I have a good excuse. The Royal Oak for women. So
The Royal Oak, they make a woman.
yeah.
they make a woman's size?
Yep.
The internet told me they do.
It must be true.
So it's got to be true.
Not a popular watch either. The Royal Oak is arguably one of the most iconic watches of all times, but
It's awesome.
yeah, they're not for women.
Not
All
for
right.
women.
Wait, is the offshore the bigger one?
Yeah, the offshore is a bigger one.
Okay.
All right, so let's change gears here and let's go to stocking stuffers, and we can still keep women in this. All right, so the women that are tuned in, you can stay on board here because you might get some ideas for what to get us, and we can also maybe get some ideas to what to get you. So I tasked these gentlemen to give me some ideas that are not watches and not watch straps. So I wanted to see if they could think outside the box for the watch lover out there to stuff the stockings of their loved ones. So anybody come up with anything?
Watch strap changing tool.
There you go.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
So a nice watch toolkit.
Yeah, I had that written down too. Some tools. Yeah.
So we got some tools here. You could put it in a nice little package. They sell entire watch kits for $10-$20 on Amazon. So
Yeah, go with the nice stuff because I got one of those cheap
Yeah.
Amazon boxes and it works for a while, but some of the screws are already wearing down the screwdrivers and
Yep.
you get what you pay for, right?
I need to get some of the good tools. So
Yeah. Anybody else?
does it have to fit in a stocking is a question.
No. Yeah. 'Cause I have something that's not going to fit in a stocking, so go for it.
All right. I have to say, Joe, that talking about Christmas is a sacrifice for me right now because we haven't even had Thanksgiving yet, brother. This is really, really difficult for me. So I'm sacrificing.
Well, if you tune into the radio,
for you.
B101 already has the Christmas music going, man. So I had to get to the spirit here, man.
No, I can't do it. No. Oh, man. I wrote down a couple of things. I saw a video today. I think it was from Honest Watch Reviews. He showed some cufflinks that have like an automatic watch movement. I've seen those before.
I have, yeah.
Those are pretty cool. I think they look
really are.
cool. So I
Some
thought
of them
that.
actually have the winding rotor.
Yeah.
That's pretty
It's
cool.
pretty cool. It
Yeah.
is.
And then I thought of like watch art, like pictures.
Yeah, something to put back here in Average Joe
something on the
Studios.
wall. So yeah.
Are you still
That
on
won't
there, honey?
Fit in the
Yeah, you're still
stocking,
there.
but
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. I like this.
That's not bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got a couple here in the comment here. We got Watch Roll.
That's a good one.
Okay.
That's a good one.
A nice, let's see, a good watch case.
Yep, travel case or something.
Now,
Yeah.
my fiance said a watch winder chest. Now, behind me, this chest here, actually, when I take the drawer out, there's a bunch of watches that I did a customized watch drawer, and I'll show it to you in my State of the Watch collection, but it's pretty neat. So my goal is to fill up this entire chest. So the first top drawer is already full. So if you're going to come in and like Josh did the other day and try to steal my watches through the window, that's where I keep it. But I actually put a lock on the top, so you have to find where the key is. So let's see, what else we got here? Stocking stuff, Polywatch. Yes, anybody that has those plastic bezels, those vintage watches like the good old Whale, good old Polywatch will help take those fine
with the acrylic. I had one actually was from Chris's video, one of those travel clocks. Those look like those be cool to put in a
as long as it's not the Hodinky one.
Not the Hodinky one.
Not the one in your intro.
No. That one's a ripoff. But the other, especially like Chris, if you saw his video, like he said, you can get a real JLC for like $500, $600.
$150.
$150. There you go. Even better. Get one of those working, fold it up, put it in stocking. You're good to go.
Yeah.
Those are cool.
Yeah, those are really cool. That's actually a very good idea for someone who really loves watches. That's a good idea. It's the same clock as the JLC. It's the exact same movement. They recreated the case because they didn't have the cases. They just had the movements. But if you know the whole story behind that,
didn't they find how many number it was?
98 movements or something
actual like that had been sitting there for decades.
Yeah. I saw that they found the movements, the exact same movement that in the video that the JLC clocks that I showed in that. Some of them were 2 days, some of them 8 days. They had all 8-day clocks with alarms. So I had 2 days with alarms and I had 8 days without alarms. But because I have 4 of them, but they took them, recreated the cases and fit those movements into those cases, and they wrapped it in leather. They had a custom dial made, and then they charged $5,900 for it. When meanwhile on eBay you can get them for. I got 2-day clocks for $50, and I got 8-day clocks for $150.
The real thing.
The real thing, JLC signed. Dials are in mint condition. The cases are a little rough, but nothing that can't be cleaned up. And I've already reached out to like leather people who could actually, like leathersmiths, and for like $200 you could have them wrapped in leather, very similar to the one that Hodinky used, and they work perfectly fine. That would be like one of those clocks wrapped in leather. Put that in a stocking stuffer. That's an amazing gift. That's a heirloom. That's amazing. Those clocks from the 1930s. They're awesome.
That's cool.
What about you, Matt? You got any ideas?
Say again?
So you got any ideas for stocking stuffers?
Oh, just the clock was the one I had.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I just did a video about my vintage collection, and my wife gave me a watch roll. So we were talking about watch rolls, but she gave me a watch roll for Christmas one year that was like some beautiful like leather watch roll, has 6 slots in it. And that's where I keep just my vintage collection. I just put it in there, and it's just beautiful.
That's perfect. That's good.
Yeah, my fiance got this for me. Perfect for traveling. Take my 3 favorite watches and protected. So,
how about a Watch Chris T-shirt or an AvgJoe T-shirt?
I don't sell them, but yeah.
Oh, we're not going to buy them. We want you to give it to us.
That's right.
Merry Christmas, right?
AvgJoe, you got yours too, right?
Yeah, AvgJoe. AvgJoe.
What are you talking about? I don't have none.
Yeah.
So your wife says coffee table books about watches.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I have tons of those. They're all right there.
Wasn't that Kramer from Seinfeld? He actually had a coffee table book that turned into a coffee table.
Yes.
Never mind. Yeah, that was genius. Genius.
Very, very good.
So I wanted to get into, December sometimes is wedding season. So I don't know. I mean, obviously you guys are married. So just curious, did you guys get your groomsmen watches? And if you didn't, what would you get them today? Because I mean, we got tight budgets here. You know, we got flowers, photographer. You know, so you know we can't be buying them all Rolexes. So I was kind of curious to see what you guys would buy your groomsmen if you were to get married, let's say in December.
Oh man, for me, I don't even remember if I got them anything. I feel ashamed, but I think I let them keep the tie that they wore. I don't remember. But if today, I mean, I wish I could get them a really nice watch. I would do that if I could, but I'd probably go for a watch, probably some sort of Casio Square. You know, maybe try and personalize it to their taste, you know, because they make so many different kinds. So I don't know. Those usually you can find those for $100 a piece, somewhere around there, or cheaper, sometimes a little bit more. So I'd get one of those for each of them, preferably solar powered if I could find them.
You love that solar, man. I know that.
Yeah.
Even your email is solar. There's something something about you, man. I don't know. What is that?
Well, I when I started my
sun.
YouTube channel, I also had a website that I was writing blog articles for. I was trying to get it off the ground, and I was focusing on solar watches specifically.
Okay.
And I called the website was solar.watch. So it wasn't a .com, it was a .watch. Never got off the ground, and it was a premium domain name. It was like $500 to renew it. So I said,
learn something new every day.
I can't do it. So I just let it go.
We got Adrian over here in the UK. He said he got all his groomsmen drunk. So
Nice.
I guess he got them all a bottle of scotch or something.
Mm-hmm.
Eve down below, she lives in the Philippines, and my fiance, her family's from the Philippines, and it seems like groomsmen is not a thing down there. So we're definitely getting a little bit of a cultural clash here. So, but you guys do know what a groomsman is, though, right?
Of course.
Comment below. I think you do.
Yeah.
So what about you guys? Anybody else? What would you get your groomsmen? I do like Miguel's idea. You can't go wrong with Seiko.
Mm-hmm.
Can't go with a Casio either, though, Josh.
Yeah,
you know, so two good choices there.
I didn't have any groomsmen. We got married in the courthouse for $80.
Mm-hmm.
Knocked it right out. It was both of our second marriages, so we're like, yeah, we're not going through that whole jazz again.
Mm-hmm.
Get married at courthouse, $80. But if I did, I would buy him the biggest, gaudiest Invictas. They would get the SpongeBob Invicta, they'd get the Patrick Invictas, and then I'd make them feel guilty if they didn't wear them.
Or the Marvel.
They get the
Marvel ones. Yeah.
They get the biggest, nastiest Invictas I could find and be
That's
like,
awesome.
yo, congratulations.
And you know what? A lot of guys would like that.
They would rock them.
They really would rock that.
Yeah.
And they think that you paid the MSRP.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You paid $995 for this? Wow. This guy's awesome. I can't wait to be at his next wedding.
Yeah.
What about you, Chris?
I think I got my groomsmen cufflinks and a flask.
Cool.
That's what I got.
Very nice.
But if I had to do it over today and I was going to get them watches, the Q Timex.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great one.
It's a good
I
choice.
would get them in different colors because there's a bunch of different colors now. So they have like the Sprite, the Pepsi, the Coke.
The Snoopy now.
They have a Snoopy. They have a whole bunch
For your-
of them. So I would do
For your buddy over here.
Yeah.
But you're already married, so it's too late.
So.
Yeah, I think I would go the Seiko route. Yeah. So that's me.
Good, solid
Cool.
choice.
Yeah. So I was a little bit curious, again, kind of with the whole gift giving season. So I wanted to know if somebody had a budget of, let's just say, under $500, and it was like, I don't know, your brother, your father, what watch would you guys get? And try to think more like maybe even like newer releases. But if you don't, if it's not that, it's no big deal. But just kind of curious.
Honestly, to sew C Star, man. I
Thank
really
you.
would. I really would. It's This is a great. I'll tell you what. I get more comments on this watch. Nobody at work has noticed that I bought a Rolex. I've been rocking that. I barely wear any other watch since I got that Milgauss, and nobody said a word. They're always. I'll sit there and talk about, hey man, that's a nice watch, and I'm like, yeah, it is really nice, but I was like, I own a Rolex. Don't you know who I am?
You know what it is, Matt?
Don't you know who I think I am?
That Tissot is
pops,
really
dude.
blue. And that
is.
ceramic blue is beautiful, man.
It is. It is.
I love Tissot, man. That's you're selling me, man. I hope you get
It's a
commission.
great watch. Yeah. Right.
Do you have an affiliate link? Because I'll click it.
Chris does. Click on it.
Do you have an affiliate for that one?
He does.
All right. When I'm ready to pull the trigger, I'm going to hook you up, man. You guys are selling on this watch. I mean, I was already sold. Now you're like really, very, very nice. And we actually have some love here for Tissot. We got Gentleman for Dress Watch. Yeah.
Oh, the Tissot Gentleman is awesome.
Yeah.
That's a really good Rolex alternative. It looks like,
Yep.
Is it really?
Yeah. It's like a Datejust sort of case. It's really nice. Really cool watch.
Okay.
Powermatic 80 as well.
What else you guys got for under $500? Any sleepers out there?
So I would agree with I would agree with Rock the Watch because or Matt Stingray because of two reasons. So it depends on the person. If the person's a collector of watches, that's a different story. But if it's my dad was interested in watches, but he wasn't that interested in watches. He loved watches, but he never really had the money to buy a nice watch, and he never really owned very many nice watches throughout his life until very much later on in his life. And he wore Timexes. That's what he wore. Like, he wore Timexes. That's what he could afford. That's what he liked, and that's what he wore. But if I were going to buy him something, I probably would go that route, that Tissot route, or Hamilton, or Certina, or one of those brands that have a name and are that make a really good, automatic, reliable, well-made watch. But if they are a collector, I would go a different route because I feel like people want that name, that they want to recognize the name of their watch, especially if they're not a watch collector. But if they are a watch collector, not having a mainstream brand sometimes is as good as having a non-mainstream brand. So I would go with something like a micro brand. I would go with, like that new Enthusiast that I got in, or there's a bunch of really cool watches, or Christopher Ward, one of their more affordable models, but just a micro brand that are really well made and offer incredible specs for that price. Because that Tissot is awesome, but the bracelet on that Tissot sucks.
Not so awesome.
And
is that a press class, by the way?
It is. I love the brace. I actually like the bracelet, the engineer style.
It's just that clasp.
It's friction fit, and that's where it gets hit. It is.
Yeah,
that's where that is.
But that bracelet does look nice, though.
The movement's awesome, though, and the
movement's awesome. The dials are a little bit
flat. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, they're a little bit flat. There's not a lot of depth to them, but you could go and buy a Zelos with a Whirlpool dial, or you could buy, I keep on calling it Zelos, people get on me, Zelos, and you can get that Whirlpool dial, or you can buy like that Enthusiast with all the ton of lume, or Christopher Ward, or a Notice, like the Notice that Josh got with that green dial. That's a.
Are you talking yourself out of the sale, brother?
No, I definitely think you should buy through my affiliate.
Okay.
No,
okay. All right.
What I'm saying is that if you're a collector, then you can go either way.
Okay.
You don't have to go that mainstream route. But if they're not a collector, I think that's the person that you should buy that mainstream watch, because when you hand them over a Zelos, they're going to be like, "Oh, this is it looks cool.
Never heard of this." Right.
We got a question here. I think this is a big hint. My fiance wants to know, what watch should I get her? No monetary limit. Women's. It doesn't have to be. I mean, let's just say a 40 millimeter or below. Okay.
I was thinking what Peter C said even before he typed it, and I think I've been influenced by Chris tonight too, because he was showing the Reverso that he has. But I really do like the Reversos. Yeah, I think I'd get that for my wife.
I took it
Yep.
from her.
And probably get a matching one for myself.
That's like a Doctor Strange watch too. She's a big Doctor Strange fan.
Yeah.
So
those are awesome.
oh, we got another reverser down here too.
That's a great choice.
Oh man, here's another one. Geez, thanks. I need to get it. I need to get a job that pays big money.
What all that YouTube?
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. So, all right, good stuff, guys. I wanted to. What we got? 50 minutes here. I wanted to play a game, and you guys in the chat can help out as well. This is something. It's an exclusive to the live stream, and I wanted to try it out here. So, here we go. First word that comes to mind. So I'm going to pop something up on the screen, and you guys just. This is going to be a free. This is almost like therapy, almost like Rorschach. So I'm going to put up something, and you guys just say the first thing that comes to your mind.
At the same time, you're saying?
No. Just anybody can shout out, and So you guys ready? Let's try it out.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do the first one. This is basically a topic that we did on our show already, so I just want to see what you guys would say to this one. First word that comes to mind.
Awesome.
Oh, man.
This is not easy, right?
All right.
They don't deserve the hate.
Carrera.
All right. How about this one?
Oh,
I think of that snake watch. I did a video on that. And I did they have like a snake watch that has like
SpongeBob.
snakes.
Yep.
That are
Huge.
going through the.
Here's mine. Here's mine. Huge.
Huge.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I got one for Josh.
Counterfeit.
First word.
Counterfeit. Yeah.
All right. I thought you guys would say that. All right. Let's see. How about here we go. Something a little bit more fun. Best bang for the buck.
Hodinky. No, I'm just kidding. Casio. Come on, man. Casio's God tier. Can we? Okay. All right. There we go. Can we agree that Casio is the greatest watch brand?
I think everybody
on the, bless this earth. I think they're just the best.
I think everybody can agree on that.
Yeah.
They've got a lot going on. Yeah.
Yeah. You got some Casio here. Casio. Some say hard choice. All right. I have an interesting one. I think here we go.
Ooh.
Brand with most appreciation. It could be higher end. It could be.
There's a lot out there.
Baume & Mercier.
First thing that comes to mind. Eterna.
Baume & Mercier is a good one.
You got
Roger Dubuis.
Oh, yeah. Gerard Perregaux.
Josh speechless.
Hublot.
There you go. Hublot.
Hublot is.
Yeah.
You blew all your money. There, I got one here. Most underused dial color. I'm going to say salmon.
Salmon, yeah.
Anybody else?
Salmon.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I don't see it too much. Yeah, salmon.
I don't see it too much on the
The
dials,
most overused is blue, by far.
Blue and black,
Blue
right?
and black,
Blue has become very popular. Now green is becoming very popular.
Mm-hmm. Green is the new blue.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of watch winders? Yay or nay?
I don't use them.
I don't have them.
Yeah, I don't.
I have a whole boatload of them, and I just use them display watches. I don't use them.
I don't think I've ever heard a final verdict on those things. I hear they destroy watches. They don't. They're good. They're bad. I just decided to stay away from them. I let my watches die, and if I need it, I just wind it up. And
I don't know. I don't even wind my watches. I'll put them on unless it's obviously a hand wound watch. But if it stops working, I'll just pick it up. I'll start wearing it, and when it's started to work, I'll I'll set
the time.
Yeah, I don't even bother winding them, because hand winding it, a lot of, especially edit movements, you have problems with the stems on those and they snap. So you don't want to do that. But
hey, Chris, you got to get your wife the Revelation Dayun Panther. I'm butcher. I know I'm butchering that, man.
No, Cartier. No,
It's a Cartier.
No.
Well, you guys heard it here first.
Heard it here first.
So, Chris, if you have another wedding, I would love to be invited, because I hear you give out good gifts to your groomsmen. So you might have heard it here first, guys. So, all right, let me give you guys a couple more before this gets. It's probably already old, but I'm gonna give you a couple more because I worked so hard on this one. Here's one. Here's one for you. What do you guys think?
Breitling.
Yep. That's a good one.
That's good.
Casio destroying that F91W.
One word.
Yeah. It's hard to put you into one word, brother.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks a lot. All right. What about homage?
I get a lot of flack because I did a video on that. I did a video on everything because I do like 7 videos a day. But I get a lot of people just can't let things. They don't like hearing other people's opinions in that. So
no, they don't.
So I get a shudder. I don't get a word. I get like.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of homages, but I mean, I'll show them on my channel because I know a lot of people like them. So
yeah,
we got nomage down below.
Nomage.
And thank you, Eve, for where we do more than just reviews. Shows that she's paying attention. And Josh, sorry about not watching your videos all the way through. We'll hash this out on Monday when you come over to my house.
oh, that's funny, man.
And try to steal a couple of my watches. That's okay.
Yeah.
Just don't use the window this time.
Right.
All right. So we're at the 57-minute point. You guys still good?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Doing good.
Yeah. So we're not.
Anybody?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So I was just going to discuss some logistics. Next Friday, we decided we're not going to do a live stream,
right?
Because it is the day after Thanksgiving. I know there's some Canadians in the chat, so Thanksgiving here is next week on Thursday. So on Friday, we usually sit around the house and watch TV. I do that generally every day, but I'm going to do it even more on Friday than normal.
Right.
And then we're going to pick this back up on December 4th on Josh's channel. Wait,
Yep.
Come on over December 4th, right here.
Right there. And so J City Reviews.
Yep.
So I just wanted to make sure we got that out there before we forget to say that.
Absolutely.
Oh, I got something to ask. So, Axios. Have you seen ads for that?
Yes.
What Axios?
Yes.
Is that Chris probably knows this, maybe. Is that tied to Zelos at all?
Oh, okay.
I figure because they look like I see the ad, I'm like, oh yeah, that looks like a good watch. And then I'm looking at it like, hey, wait a minute.
Same
that
spec?
looks all
Looks
a lot like Zelos.
Axios.
I wondered why they
Ventus.
started another brand. That's kind of odd to me.
Yeah.
Because he has such popularity with Zelos. He's become one of the more popular micro brands because they are a very small micro brand still. No matter what, they're very small. And this is Elshan is the owner of Zelos, and I talk to him on a pretty regular basis because I've purchased many of his watches. He's never given me a watch, so that's I haven't given him glowing reviews because every time I get one of his watches, there's always a big problem with it, in my opinion. But he's come out with 2 other brands, and those brands are Ventus and Axios, and he's partnered up with other people to do those, but he is basically like majority owner in both of those other brands. So I think that he has a formula. The formula is the drilled lugs, the screwed links, the same clasp, texture the dial in some way, make it a little bit interesting. Do it in bronze, do it in stainless steel, ratcheting bezel that's really good, and put an NH35 in it, or put a Miyota movement, and
Really
call it a
good
day,
loom.
and keep it below 42 millimeters generally.
And
And
keep the
those are the
price
ones that
down.
really sell, and keep the price really down, and that's what those are the ones that sell for him. And then he does also the bigger watches, and he does those in batches for people who want the big watches, but those don't sell as well as his other, his 40, 42 millimeter watches.
We have a question here in the chat. Why is everyone in love with Zelos?
It's the price to entry. That's the reason why I started with them, because I think I said this. I told the story. I was in love with my Omega Seamaster. I bought an Omega Seamaster, and I was like, I just love this watch, and I wanted to get another watch that was more affordable that I could wear, once in a while. That was very similar to that watch. So what I did was I found Zelos, and I was watching a bunch of channels. One of them was Random Rob.
Yep,
and one
that's
of
where
them,
I first found out about it. Yeah,
and I saw it on there, and he was glowing review about it, and I got it myself, and I was just like, it's like the bracelet was horrible, and the finishing wasn't that good, and it had a Salida movement. It wasn't that good, and then but ever since that watch, everything has gotten better, and I think that's the reason why he gave it such a good review, is because he must have gotten very, very early versions, and they were terrible, and they've kept on getting better, and to the point where there are a few watches that they've made that I think, like that Swordfish 40, the Mako version 3 is an incredible watch. There's one part of that watch that I don't like, and that's the logo that's on the clasp. It's very sharp. It's almost like a nail file. It is a nail file. You could file your nails on it. You could sand a table with it. It's bad.
Wow.
But if that wasn't there, it's as good, almost as good. Let me rephrase that. It's almost as good, not the finishing wise of the watch, but the specs and everything that you're getting, the size, the quality of the watch, not the finishing, as a Christopher Ward. And it's literally a quarter of the price. So, it's a third of the price, and you're getting a lot of value in that.
Yeah, you get a lot of value for money.
Yeah, you're not getting the same movement. You're not getting the light catcher case on a Christopher Ward. They're finished very good, and in fact, they're at the level with. I think they're better than some Tissot's and Hamiltons. They're better, which is big when you're thinking about it. But Zelos have done a ton to make their watches better. They have very simple finishing, but they're for the price you're paying $300, you're getting an incredible, capable watch with the textured dial, ceramic bezel, all these different.
What's the movement? What's the movement they use in there?
So
NH35.
NH35 or
The typical NH35,
9039 or Miyota 9039, 9015, and sometimes they'll use a Salida SW200. On their GMTs, they use a Salida SW500. Oh no, SW330. Excuse me.
The wristwatch weirdo. He's a big fan of our channels. I assume, at least mine. Thanks, buddy. Don't spit out your water, there, Chris. What micro brands do you think will eventually grow and possibly become mainstream? For me, I think Christopher Ward is that company that I don't even know if we can call them a micro brand anymore. What do you think?
Independent, like we talked a little bit about that before.
Yeah, we did.
They're more independent, right?
More of an independent brand now, right? But they've kind of like moved up that whole. They're not a micro brand anymore because they just sell tons of watches now.
Yeah, they started out as a micro brand. Now they're moving into that lower end independent brand space because they're making their own movements. They just came out with that Abyss, the C65 Abyss, with a GMT in-house movement, skeletonized, blackened, so it's darkened movement, sapphire sapphire crystal, automatic, just a gorgeous watch. Again, people are, flip flop about that. I think it's a gorgeous watch. I can't say that it is, but I think it is. And just I think it's under $2,000. They're pretty incredible, and they're entering that range of a lot of bespoke products that are more associated with an independent Swiss brand.
Any thoughts on this particular Christopher Ward blue dial multicolors? You guys know what he's talking about there?
Yeah, the C60, the new C60.
The Trident?
Came out with. It's a C60 Trident Pro 600. I think it's awesome. I think it looks really good.
Yeah.
I like what they did.
The blue one with the translucent with the little moon phase.
Yeah.
That's
cool. That's the moon.
Not
phase.
the moon
He's talking
phase.
about the chrono. He's talking about the chrono that they just came out with. Not the translucent, not the sapphire dials.
That one's awesome.
The sapphire blue dial. They just came out with another limited edition with Tide Ocean recycled material strap on it. They did a sapphire dial with a wave pattern on it. Looks great. They're doing a lot.
That's awesome.
Well, that actually leads me into a huge announcement. Christopher Ward is going to be sending me the Moonglow, which Chris, you did review on that.
Nice.
No, I didn't.
Right? No, you did the blue translucent.
No, I didn't. I did a video because they send me their press releases, but I did the they lent me a blue Trident. C60 Trident. That is going to go back, and they're going to send me hopefully one of their sapphire dials is what I've asked for. So.
Yeah, so I mean, this Moonglow, you're getting a Swiss-made moon face, beautiful looking watch. I mean, I think the only critique that I have of it, just looking at the pictures, and actually after critiquing it, I've seen this in reviews, is that the black tinted window or whatever that has the second moon is not dark enough. So you still see the moon on the other moon. It basically is showing the half moon, quarter moon, and it's showing it in real time. So it has to have two moons because you have the cutouts, so you could see which. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Is that the moon phase? It's accurate to 100 and to some sort of incredible accuracy.
I can't speak on that. I just know that I remember when they had the press release that it was coming out, and I was like, man, I gotta get my hands on this. So now that I finally got in contact with them, they're actually willing to send it out for review, and I'm like, whew, I might not want to give it back. I might have to wheel and deal, maybe hold it hostage and be like, all right.
Are you gonna have to give your social security number?
Not this time. Not this time. So what happened was, and this is what Chris is alluding to, is Christopher Ward was going to send me the bronze, I believe it was the Trident.
The C60 Trident,
yeah. And so what happened was, it wasn't Christopher Ward, but it's a service they're using DHL, and if it's over a certain amount, because this is basically $1,000 watch, Customs gets their hands on it, and then they contact you and say, all right, well, we're not going to release it unless you give us a social security number or you give us your, I don't know, business number, which I don't have a business. So I reached out to Christopher Ward and I said, I'm not giving out my social security number. I don't care how nice your watches are. So they said, we understand. We'll get the watch back. So they finally did get it back from Customs. And Rosie, the rep, was like, do you want to try out another watch? I mean, you could still get the same watch. And I was like, you know what? Let me look through your website. I completely forgot all about this Moonglow that I liked over a year ago. And I was like, oh man, can you please send this one out to me? I would love to read. She's like, absolutely. So I should be getting that within the next couple of weeks. So look for that on the channel, guys.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
So the same thing happened to me at the same time, because I got the Dartmouth, from Christopher Ward.
Yep.
And I was a little weary too, because they were asking me for the social security number, and I was contacting them and saying, is this real? I was careful. And
so he gave him mine.
I ended up, I did give them mine, and they did release the package. So hopefully, I've got LifeLock, so I think I'll be okay.
Yeah, there you go.
You want to do a LifeLock plug? I didn't make a banner for it.
That's the sponsor for today's video, LifeLock.
That's right.
You have an affiliate link for that, Josh? You want to,
I do.
And,
well, guys.
Yeah, sorry.
Go
I was
ahead.
going to
Go
say,
ahead.
Chris, that I asked them to send me another watch, and I said, just whatever you want. And they said, well, how about the sapphire dial?
Man.
So they're going to send it. I asked for the compressor, but they don't have, I think they have them out to too many other reviewers or something. But,
that's what I'm liking about Christopher Ward is that they're willing to send you watch after watch after watch.
Yeah.
And it's actually, luckily, it's one of the brands one of my favorite micro brands. Well, not a micro brand anymore, I guess, but it's definitely one of my favorite brands now. So I'm very happy that they're willing to do that because I will definitely be taking advantage of that. So you'll be seeing a lot of Christopher Ward.
What they're doing is they're pushing to do some reviews now, and then I think that'll stop. And then what they'll do is they take all of those watches, and then they do a clearance on their website. And then they do a big clearance where they sell all the watches that they sent out to reviewers. So
cool.
yeah, it'll be
Makes sense.
There'll be a big sale on there, so you could buy the watch that you reviewed for $50.
I'm gonna pull a Filippo Loretti and say, let's cut out the middleman. Let me keep the moon glow, and I'll offer you $100. What do you say? You think they'll go for it?
Yeah.
Oh.
No. Well, guys, this was an awesome show once again. I want to thank my special guests, Rock the Watch. Go ahead and there we go. Follow him. These cameras are so weird because it's the opposite. Follow him. I'm actually pointing left, but he's to my right. And we got Josh from J City Reviews. And then, I know I was going to do this wrong. I can't even do it. Here we go. Chris, there we go. Chris from Watch Chris.
Right there.
Well, man, that's a lot harder than it looks. Thank you all for joining in the comments. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And please remember, especially during the Thanksgiving holiday, that there's always time to be kind to one another. Please take care of each other. God bless. And we'll see you guys next time on another live stream. As Chris said, December 4th, right?
Yeah.
Will be the next one on J City Reviews. So watch out for that. Thank you very much for joining us. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
See ya.
Later.